People that arrive to Canada have to be in quarantine for 14 days.
Okay.
And this is another issue with these tickets. But the tickets have to be challenged within 15 days.
Okay.
And what is happening is that the court system is set up to deal with the original concept where only tickets up to $1,000 can be entered. So these tickets are not getting entered at all. And when you try to look them up in the computer system, they show up as not found.
Oh, so that means basically the person getting ticketed wins by default?
Exactly.
Well, folks, for months now, we have been chronicling how so many people have been receiving tickets for several $1,000s for allegedly violating the Federal Quarantine Act. You know, like refusing to stay in one of those ghastly quarantine hotels upon flying back to Canada from abroad. Well, get a load of this. For Ontarians, at least, we have some very, very good news to report on the Wuhan virus ticketing front, and it is this. Those tickets might indeed be null and void due to a computer glitch. Well, joining me now to talk about this is our legal extraordinaire and the legal coordinator for FightTheFines.com, Victoria Solomon. Victoria, thank you so much for joining me in studio. You've been doing incredible work on these cases. Everyone is so impressed. But tell me, is this indeed the case? Due to some computer system, computer glitch, however you want to talk about it, tickets over $1,000 simply cannot be processed in Ontario.
Well, David, that's right. And the reason that this is happening is because these tickets are processed through a regular provincial court system. And the provincial court system is only set up to deal with fines up to $1,000. And some federal statutes, like the Quarantine Act, provide an exception for this, where tickets can be issued up to $3,000. And with taxes and the surcharge, that comes to almost $4,000.
I always find that perversely ironic. There's a tax and a surcharge
That's right.
on what is already a tax and a surcharge when you think about it, a penalty from the state. So Victoria, take me through this. Say I'm a person, I receive one of these tickets for $3,750. I go down to the Provincial Offences Court. I say, here's my ticket. I want to plead not guilty. Then what happens?
Well, David, the problem is that people that arrive to Canada have to be in quarantine for 14 days.
Okay.
And this is another issue with these tickets. But the tickets have to be challenged within 15 days.
Okay.
And what is happening is that the court system is set up to deal with the original concept where only tickets up to $1,000 can be entered. So these tickets are not getting entered at all. And when you try to look them up in the computer system, they show up as not found.
Oh, so that means basically the person getting ticketed wins by default?
Exactly.
That is amazing.
But at the same time, we found that in some jurisdictions, clerks are entering either $0 for these tickets or $1,000, which is the maximum.
Now, that is one hell of a spread, Victoria. Obviously, as a person getting ticketed, I'm hopeful the clerk will take mercy on me and write zero, or better yet, just dismiss it out of hand. But why is there this discretion by the clerks going from $0 to $1,000? $1,000 is still a lot of money for somebody.
Right. Well, we have over 60 tickets that we're dealing with, and most of them have not been entered at all.
Okay.
So only, I believe, 5 tickets have been entered at the amount of $1,000.
Wow.
And we have a few that are $0. So this is the case. I think it's the discretion of the clerks. And they are the ones that are choosing how to deal with these tickets. We're still investigating this, but this is our suspicion.
You know, usually, Victoria, I would go on a rant about the incompetency of government, but this time I'm not complaining yet. The question arises, why can't this ticket limit be fixed? I mean, surely, I don't know anything about computers, but surely the province can phone nerds on site or what have you and come in and adjust the figure to go over 1,000. Why hasn't that been thought of?
Well, that's a good question, and we don't know the answer.
Wow.
Yeah, but the good news is that most of these tickets cannot be processed. An officer has 10 days from the time that the ticket is issued for it to be filed and entered into the system. And the clerks sometimes don't do it within 10 days, so we're monitoring these tickets for 30 days and seeing what is going to happen with them. But yeah, this is a computer glitch, and we don't know why this is happening, but it is.
Wow, this is like the Monopoly get out of jail free card, isn't it, Victoria? You know, as I said off the hop, this is a Ontario only issue, which isn't to say it's not happening in other provinces. It's just that you and our other legal people haven't investigated the other provinces. Do you think this might be the case in some other jurisdictions?
Well, we've looked at Montreal there, and there the tickets being entered are $1,000.
Oh,
so I don't think, I don't think this is happening in Montreal.
Okay.
And we're looking at Alberta and British Columbia to see how their system is functioning there, and we're monitoring the Ontario tickets to see how this is going to proceed. Now, you have to keep in mind that this situation could be cured by the police serving people who have these tickets with a summons. And they have 6 months to do it. 6 months to issue a summons, and you know, we're watching to see what the government is going to do. But if some of these folks are going to be served with the summons, we will fight it.
Well, you know, Victoria, I think these tickets are purely about intimidation. It's purely about, you know, carrying forward an agenda of fear. They are preying on the ignorance of people. I don't mean that in a disparaging way. I mean, how would people know that this computer can't go up to that amount, and they're just counting on, I guess, a check being filed. So I want to thank you for this exceptional research that you've done. This is Christmas in April, I think, as far as people in Ontario are concerned, and maybe other jurisdictions. We'll have to find out in the days ahead. Your advice to anyone, Victoria, that gets one of these tickets as of now?
Well, first of all, I have to thank all the lawyers that we're dealing with in terms of fight the fines. This was discovered by a law clerk in one of our Ontario law firms, and we're certainly dealing with some of the most exceptional, talented lawyers across Canada.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're the ones that discovered this issue, and we've followed up on this with legal research in-house. And my advice to people that are dealing with these tickets is to, well, first of all, come to Rebel News.
Yes.
And we will assist, and we will fight the fines.
Yeah.
And just to monitor these tickets and see if they're in the system.
Fantastic. Well, thank you again, Victoria. And there you have it, folks. That's what this is all about. It's not about bending the knee. It's not about capitulating to the state and these outrageous fines. It's not about negotiating the fines. It's about fighting the fines. And it looks like, at least in Ontario, the province is making it easy for us because of what appears to be a computer glitch. So if you indeed have received one of these ominous fines from bylaw or law enforcement, please go to fightthefines.com. That's fightthefines.com. We'll put you in touch with a top-notch criminal lawyer, and we will crowdfund your legal fees. You just can't lose. Folks, have you been hit with one of those Wuhan virus fines? If so, please reach out and tell us your story. Go to fightthefines.com. That's fightthefines.com. If we think your tale has merit, we'll put you in touch with a top-notch criminal lawyer and crowdfund your legal fees.